Good day, student. It's nice to be with you this very beautiful day. My name is Edu Triumph, the tutor in charge of computer literacy for the pre-primary diploma students. Today, in our lesson, I'm going to take you through Microsoft Word as stipulated in your model. It's going to be a demonstrative class, so I'm not going to talk alone. I'm going to demonstrate to you using Microsoft Word how it should be used. So it's going to be a full practical class. Before we go down to the practicals, before we're going down to the class, it is good for us to have a look at our lesson objectives. What are our objectives? What and what are we going to learn in this lesson today? Our objectives include how to open Microsoft Word, how to launch Microsoft Word as a word processor application package. We're going to see the various icons that appears on the Microsoft Word ribbon. We're equally going to see how to open a saved Microsoft Word document, how to save a document, how to close a document, how to exit from Microsoft Word document as an application. We're going to see or demonstrate also how to edit and format a document. What does it mean to edit and to format a document? How do you check your document with spell check function? How do you work with tables in Microsoft Word? Finally, we are going to see how to print your document in or using Microsoft Word. These are going to be the various objectives that we are going to look at in our lesson today. So sit down, relax, watch Mr. Edu as he demonstrates to you how to use Microsoft Word as a word processing application. First of all, to launch or to open Microsoft Word, you click on Start from your computer, All Program, look or search for Microsoft Office. Here I have Microsoft Office 2013, but it doesn't matter the version you have. It can be 2010 or even 2007. So click on Microsoft Office, look for Microsoft Word and launch it. If it happens like this, you can maximize. From here, I'm going to click on blank document so that I can have a blank document to work with. Okay? What next from here? This is Microsoft Word environment. First of all, I'm going to explain or show you some things that you must know. First, get used to their name, get used to their functions, how to use them. Here, this area that I move the mouse around is called the Microsoft Word ribbon. It's called the Microsoft Word ribbon. Perhaps I should just put the spelling on the screen. So the whole of this area, as you can see, is called the Microsoft Word ribbon. The ribbon has what is called tab. The ribbon has what is called tab. these are your tabs. We have the Home tab, Insert tab, Design, Page Layout, References, Mailing, just like that until you have View. Within a tab, there are groups of commands. Take for example, this is Home tab. Within Home tab, we have group of commands. So you can see all these are within the Home tab. If you come to Insert, it has its own groups also. What are these groups? What are these tabs for? They contain commands that you make use of while working on document. Commands that can be used to format, commands that can be used to edit document. As the class or the lesson continues, I'm going to show you how to use most of these commands as stated in your course module. There are quite a lot of them, but we are going to limit our lesson to those ones that are specified in your model. We need to see how, first of all, to save a document. How do you save a document? When you start working on Microsoft Word, you want to save a document, you click on File. Here you click on Save As. If you look at the screen, you see Save, you see Save As. Save As is used to give a document a name. Save is used to save changes that are made to a document. First of all, let us see Save As. That is, I want to give my document a name now. You click on Save As, choose Computer, assuming you are working in Microsoft Word 2013 or 2010. From here, you are going to select the folder where that document should be saved. Most of the time, our documents are saved automatically in a folder called Documents that comes with your operating system. You can create your own folder that I will discuss in another lesson. Now I'm just focused on how to save your document. So for now, let me save in my document. Okay, so I can give it a name. Let's say let's Edo1 as a name of my file. Then I can click on Save. The document will be saved with the name specified or given by me. How do you know your document is saved? Look at the top of your document. We call this place the title bar. The title bar. The title bar shows you the name of the active or the current document and the name of the application package you are working on. So if I come to where you are working, let's say we're working in the same office, then I look at your screen, I can easily tell you this is the name of your document, while this is the name of the application that I'm working on. That is how to save a document. Don't forget, this place is called the title bar. The title bar displays the name of the active document, that is the current document that is on, and the application package where that document is created. Let us look further again. I'm still going to teach you how to close your document later. That I will do towards the end of the lesson. If you look at your Microsoft window, Microsoft Word window, as I told you, there are quite a lot of tabs that contains different groups that are called that we call commands that can be used either to edit or to format a document. How do you create your document? It's as simple as ABC. Once Microsoft Word is open, start typing your document. Start typing your document. But at times, it might be advantageous to do a little bit of what is known as page setting, to set up your page. I'm going to set up my document page now so that it can fit in whatever I'm going to do during the course of my document creation. How do you set up your page? You come to page layout. Under page layout, you click on margins. So when I give you assignment or you are preparing for examination, let's focus more on assignment now. If I give you an assignment in Microsoft Word and I said carry out these following settings under page layout, let the margin, the top be like this, the bottom be like this, and so on. This is how you must approach it. Page layout, margins. I'm going to click on customize margins. I should set my top. The measurement here is in inches. Some of your computers might be in centimeters. That you can change from your Word options. So I can set the top. How many inches do I want as a space before my document starts? Okay? To make it more clearer for you, I think it's better I put in the ruler so that the issue of inches can be well understood. You can see here so that you can understand. So let me go back to page layout, margin, customize margin. Here is 1 inch. Let's assume I want my document to start printing from 2 inches, counting from the top. Then you can. This is 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. At the bottom, you can do the same thing. To the right, you can do the same thing. It all depends on the specification you want your document to look like. Then, after setting out my margins, I can say OK. All right. What else do you need to set up? We have what is called orientation. Orientation. The orientation, there are 2 types of orientations. We have the portrait and the landscape. The portrait and the landscape. Landscape and portrait. You can have a look at the picture here, or the icon, the preview of a landscape. You can see how a landscape is kind of horizontal, while the portrait is kind of vertical. Alright, so it depends on the specification or the instructions given to you or how you want your document to look like. I will leave it as a portrait. There are other things you can set up here. Most time our paper size we use A4. So if you look at the assignment we give to you, at times I said print on A4. It can be print on Ledger. It depends on the paper size. If it is A4, select A4. If it is later, select later. But I said most time we use A4. So you can click on A4. What is Mr. Edu trying to explain to you so far is how to set up your page, your document, your page layout before you start typing in your document. It is good for a well foundation to be laid before the building starts. From here you start typing in or creating your document. Let me just type in just 1 or 2 sentences. So I can say, dear students, okay, how is your day? Let me stop here for now. How is your day? Dear student, how is your day? From here, what do? You don't need to press the enter key. Continue typing. Continue typing. Just watch what I do. My name is Edu Triumph. The tutor for computer literacy. I'm here to guide you on how to work on Microsoft Word. I want you to observe something here. While I was typing, you observe that when I got to the end of this line, the cursor automatically moves to the next line. That process is what is called word wrap. That process is what is called word wrap. That is a process whereby, look at it, where a cursor automatically, when it gets there, it moves to the next line. You don't need to move it yourself. That process is called a word wrap. It's only when you want to take the cursor or you want to start a new paragraph that you press the enter key. Only when you want to start a new paragraph. Otherwise, the cursor will move to the next line on its own. So to type a document is quite easy. Just place the blueprint you have beside you and begin to type on the screen. The alphabet are there. Type just the document the way it is. My focus really will be on 1. How do you edit your document? How do you format your document? Let us first of all look at how to edit your document. When you edit your document, what are the things involved? For example, you want to check spellings and grammar. You want to copy and paste. You want to cut and paste. You want to delete. You want to erase. All these processes are all processes involved in the editing of documents. Let us start, for example, on number 1, how to use the backspace key and the delete key. If I type this word, I said word, okay, I want to erase the O. Look at where my cursor is. My cursor is in between O and R. Is between O and R. If I press the backspace key from my keyboard, it takes off the O. If I press the delete key from my keyboard, it takes off the R. It takes off the R. So the backspace key removes the cursor at the back of the cursor, while the delete key removes the character in front of the cursor. Let me repeat it again. The backspace key removes a character at the back of the cursor, but the delete key removes a character in front of the cursor. So in the exam, I give you a kind of a line, then place the cursor here, then ask you that which key will you press to remove M? Is it the backspace or the delete key? You press the delete key to remove the M, because the M here is in front of the cursor. To remove the O, you use the the backspace key. Let us look at something else that we do under editing. That is to copy and paste. When you copy and paste, you are actually duplicating whatever that was specified or copied by you. I want to copy this word, dear student, and paste it. So you highlight it. What is the purpose of highlighting? Is to tell the computer, to tell Microsoft Word, this is my area of concern for now. So I want to copy, but not everything I'm going to copy. Only dear student. So it must be highlighted. It's just like I'm talking to you in the class as a teacher. Then I'm kind of particularly speaking to the student. I was like, okay, you Selma, you Timotheus. That is what it means. So I've told Microsoft Word I'm going to work on dear student now. So I highlight. All right. Then you right click. Right click means click the right button of your mouse. Then you can click on copy. Take your mouse or your cursor, move your cursor to where the document is to be pasted or whatever it has been copied. Right click again, then you can say paste. Can you see what I copied has been pasted here? Paste. But if you look at where I copied from, what I copied or where I copied it from still remains where it is. Now, what is the difference between copy and paste and cut and paste? Just observe what I'm going to do. I select their student, right click, then I cut. What happened? What was highlighted has been taken out. It has been cut. Take it to where I want it, then paste. So the difference between copy and paste and cut and paste is copy and paste duplicates, while cut removes a line, a sentence, or an icon or a picture from one position to another position. So if I give you a question concerning cut and paste, copy and paste, you should be able to see or know or tell me the difference. There is something else we are going to look at when it comes to editing, and that is always very important while working on Microsoft Word. As a human being, no matter how learned you are, even if you are a professor, you are a PhD holder, when you type, there is this tendency that at times you might make spelling errors or grammatical errors. So when there are spelling errors, how do you check or correct those errors in Microsoft Word? In Microsoft Word, we have a function that is called spell checker. The spell check is used to check spellings and grammatical errors. It's used to check spelling errors and grammatical errors. How do you use the spell check? To fix your spelling errors as well as grammatical errors. Before I demonstrate to you how to use it, whenever you type in Microsoft Word and you see a word, a phrase, or a sentence underlined, red, in most cases, the computer is complaining about the spelling. But there are times you might be right. Take for example, I type homopho. You see, there is a spelling. The word is already underlined red. But the word I have typed is right. But why is the computer or Microsoft Word underlining it red? It's just because this word is not recognized by the current or the default dictionary in Microsoft Word now. There is a dictionary in every word processor. So if you type a word, even if it is right, as long as the dictionary, the default one, does not recognize that word, it will underline it red. So we have situations like that, especially when it comes to local names, local descriptions. So how do you correct your spellings? Highlight the entire document or the section to be checked. That is the first thing. Move your mouse or your cursor to the tab. Each tab, as I told you, has its own group of commands. So what do we need to do? We move to the tab called Review, where we have spelling and grammar as a command. I got it from Review, then I move to spelling and grammar. Click on it. All the words that I highlighted, you can have a look at them here. You have 4 options here. You have ignore, ignore all. You have change, change all. Let's see how to work on this. Let's look at the first arrow made by me here, underline here. Now let's come to our spelling and grammar checker. Computer or Microsoft Word will give you some kind of suggestions. It will suggest to you words or phrases that are similar to the one that is wrongly or presumed to be wrongly typed. Here it suggests name to be the correct one. If actually that is what you intend typing, just click on it, then you say change. Okay, you see it has changed to it. Here it's a tutor, yes, I will say change. Here it is word, it is right. There's the first one, I will say change. Now it tells me homopho is wrong. Meanwhile, I know it is right. It is right. To me, it is right. So what do I do here? I will tell computer, please leave it for me the way it is. So I will not say change here. If I say change, it's going to change it to this word. So what should I do for computer to leave it for me the way it is? I will say ignore. Ignore means computer, please leave it the way it is. Ignore. Computer will leave it that way. When the spell check function is done, it tells you on the screen that we finished checking this selection. If you are done, then you can say yes. Then it is done. It is always very necessary for you to check the spellings and grammar in your document before you print. Otherwise, you might print an assignment that is full of errors, grammatically and even spelling wise. Let us do or perform another type of spell checking. Here, I want to show you some other things. I'm going to make some mistakes here intentionally. Alright. Okay. Let us go back again. Highlight, review, spelling and grammar. Here it's underlined. Can you see your? I will say your, yes, ignore. Now, at this junction, I need to explain to you the difference between ignore and ignore all. Ignore and ignore all. And the difference between change and change all. But before then, let me give you this. Let's say I have work. Alright, I want to type it into maybe 3 or 4 times. Work. Alright. Then I have play. Alright. Let me make some mistakes here when it comes to the work. Okay. If that word is not underlined in red, it means it is in the dictionary. So I want it underlined. Yeah. Alright. I'm trying to intentionally make mistakes. Alright. Now I want to check my document. I highlight spelling and grammar. First, this is literacy. Click it, change. This is guide. Click it, change. Work. Alright, work, change. Now it comes to this one. Meanwhile, I am aware, or I know very well, I've made this mistake several times. I don't need to correct these one by one. So what am I going to say? I choose the correct word, then I say change all, meaning I'm telling Microsoft Word, anywhere where there is such a mistake, please correct it. If I don't do that, see what is going to happen. If I say work, change. Now when it comes to the second one, it complains again. But I don't want a situation whereby each time it sees such an error, it complains. So I should change all. Work, change all. Can you see all of them here have been changed? Change all. Change all. Let me undo it to do it again. Work, change all. Can you now picture the difference between change and change all? Change, we only correct the current one only. Change all will correct all the areas, all the sections within that document or area specified by you. So it doesn't need to ask you over and over again. The same thing applies to play. Here, let us see. I want to leave this word exactly the way it is. I don't want Computer Microsoft Word spelling and grammar function to correct it for me. I want to leave it exactly the way it is. What must I do? I select it, then I will say ignore. If I say ignore, it will still complain here, but I don't want it to complain again. So what do? I will say ignore all. It's not going to complain again once you say ignore all. So I have been able to demonstrate, to show you how to use the spelling and grammar function. At times you have some few grammars error. Let me just type one here. I am coming now. I am coming now. I'm just trying to make some spelling, I mean grammatical errors here intentionally. Ne? Please spoke what you want to spoke so that I can went. What a grammar. All right. Please spoke what you want to spoke so that I can. So at times you make some spellings, grammatical errors. You can also use the same function to correct those type of errors. Okay, so it has the function of spelling corrections and grammatical grammatical errors. So here, instead of coming, it should be coming. Can you see now? So I say change. Now you can see here it is not underlined red, is blue. In some computers, it is green. It depends on how your settings are. But this is not a spelling error, it's a grammatical error. What grammar is here is just that the space between the full stop and that word is too much. So it should be like this. So I say change. Alright? Okay. Then you can also go further to correct some of these mistakes that we have there. So the Microsoft Word can be used to correct your spellings as well as your grammar. Like this grammar is wrong, you can use the Microsoft Word spelling and grammar to correct it. As I said, I'm going to limit my demonstration, this lesson, as specified in your module. So I have shown you how to use spelling and grammar function. Let us move away now from editing a document to formatting a document. There are quite a lot of things that are done or that can be done when formatting a document. To format a document means you add some features to that document. I will start with the following. Number one, let me just correct this. How to underline. To underline, you specify where or what's to be underlined by highlighting it. Come to home. Among the group of commands you see underline, click on it. Or if you want a special kind of underline, you can look at the list box here. There are quite a lot of them. Then click on the one you intend using. So click on underline. That is underlined already. If I go back, highlight it again, click on it again, it takes it off to undo it. So select what is to be underlined and underline. Click on the U. In your course module, you are also being told to understand how to bold. To bold means it makes the word to be a little bit darkened. So I select, then I click on the B here, that is to bold. You can see it's bold here, quite different from others. We have italics. Italics will make your word slight. Look at it, for example. I highlight this area, then apply the italics to make it slight. That is italics. To use the italics, right? Okay. We have something else again, which is called the centralize. Basically, I'm going to talk about these four. They are for alignment. Okay, I highlight these. I come to centralize. All these are under home tab. Okay, all these group of commands are under home tab. So I click on center. It's centralized. These to the right. These to the left. This one, the last one here, is justify. Justify, it makes all your work equal, all the lines equal to justify. So when assignment is given to you, they say type this following document in Microsoft Word and apply the following. Number one, select, for example, where you have my name is Edo, and centralize. What Edo is just asking you is you select it, click on centralize. Another instruction can say bold it. Can you see? Another instruction can say underline it. All these I'm doing, I'm formatting my document. I am formatting my document. Another instruction can say increase the font size. Can you see? The bigger the number, the bigger the font size. The font will be. So I can select, for example, 20, but do not select any number on your own. Select the font size that you are being instructed to do according to your assignment specification. So if the assignment says make the font size 20, please let it be 20. Make it 26, 28, let it be the font size. Then we have again the font style. The font style. There are quite a lot of font style. But before you apply the font style, the font size Don't forget, you must select first or highlight first. You must highlight first the area where it should be applied. So I want to apply, or I want to change the font style of how is your day. Highlight, I come to the font style box. You can go through them. Once you get the one you are looking for, there are quite a lot of them, then click. In your assignment, in most situations, the assignment specify the style to be used, the font type to be used. The assignment in most situations specify the font type to be used. So do not just, if my assignment says use copper plate, for example, can you see copper plate is different from if I say use maybe Algerian. It's quite different. So once I look at it, I look at your assignment and the font style you give to me is not what I requested, then you lose 1 or 2 marks there. Always go with instruction. But highlight, select a font style whenever you are giving assignment. As Mr. Edu rightly said, do not select a font style of your choice. Select according to instruction. But if the instruction is an open instruction that says use any style, any font style of your choice, then you are free to use any one. All this process that I'm doing, I am formatting my document. Then at times we say make the font a particular color, maybe red, blue, yellow, and so on. So these area is, or this icon represent the font color. All what you need to do is select or highlight the text, then under home you see the font color which you can click on. Once you click on it, it will apply to it there. This we also give to you at times in your assignment. In your assignment also, at times we always say make this section, make this line, make this phrase all to be in capital letter. Change everything there to be in capital letter. For example, I'm going to change this to capital letter. Let me make it the font size a little bit bigger. Okay. Alright, I want to change this to capital letter. Take note, capital letter is referred to uppercase. The right word here, or the right terminology here, is uppercase. So if I click on uppercase, then it changes the entire area or the entire font selected to uppercase. Where did I get uppercase from? Under home, here you find it. But before you apply it, you must select the font where it should be applied. Highlight first, then click on uppercase. If I want to change the it to small letters, which we call lowercase, the same procedure. Highlight, then click on lowercase. There are times you need to capitalize each word. That is how H should be in capital letter, is, I should be in capital letter, ditto other ways too. Highlight. Can you see? Capitalize each word. Okay, then it will apply. H is capital, I is capital, Y is capital, D is capital. I'm formatting my document. There are other things that you need to know under formatting of your document. That I'm going to talk now about line spacing. Line spacing. How to create spaces between between your lines. How to create spaces between your line. How do you create spaces between your line? Okay? Excuse me. Just trying to create something out here first. Just a minute. Okay, it's fine. You highlight the entire sentences. Still under home. Can you see where you have paragraph? Can you see where you have paragraph? Open the group of commands there. Then move to line spacing. Line spacing. Open the list. We have single. Currently it is on single. When you type, most of the time it is on single. So let me select 1.5, then OK. Can you see there's more space now? Let me go back again. Multiple, that one will be wider. Can you see? Alright, I go back again. Double, not as wide as multiple. But in most situations, it's either you leave your line spacing to be single or 1.5. But as I always tell you, read your instruction. Your instructions will tell you what type of line spacing should be used when working on a document. Otherwise, use your wisdom as needed. These few things I have discussed with you are all formatting. Let us assume we are in an examination hall, or you have your examination question paper. Mr. Edu now gives you a sentence like this. Okay, let me cut something here. I want to paste it here. Ctrl Z. Okay. All right. I highlight this. I put it here. This. Don't worry, I'm going to ask some questions here. Okay. Focus on this. Then I give you this in the examination hall. Then I give you the following questions. Then I said, for example, I said name 2 types of formatting done on the above sentence. Name 2 types of formatting done on the above sentence. What and what do you give to me as answer? So if you look at this, what can you see? You should write for me, okay, here work is capital, that is in uppercase. So your answer will be, you give me something like this. Okay, work is uppercase, because my question is, look at this sentence and identify the type of formatting that has been done. You can also tell me again, work, okay, is bold. Can you see now? Work is bold. You can also tell me, okay, computer literacy, okay, what is done there is underline. Can you see? Okay, what else can you identify? There's still something here again. Work is centralized, or that is at the center. Can you see it here? So when question comes, list, mention, or identify the type of formatting that has been done on a particular sentence or paragraph. Look for features like, is there underline? Oh, is there bold? Oh, is there capital letter? What else can you see from the various commands that we have talked about today? When formatting is done to a document, you have added kind of an features to that document. So you can look for bold, you can look for underline, you can look for italics. For example, something like this, if there's an italics, okay, you can look for a situation where, oh, is a color change, although most of the time your examination is always printed in black and white. Okay, is there anything centralized? Can you understand that now? What about the line spacing? Is it double? Is it single? All right, so look for features that have been added to that document. Before we conclude on formatting a document, I will talk about word acts. Word acts. It's another features that we always used also in Microsoft Word. Under Insert, you see Word Acts. This time we use it for design. Select any type of Word Acts function, then you type it there. So I can say, for example, IOL Windhoek. Can you see? So whenever I say select a Word Act, okay, you should know where to get it from Insert. There you see Word Acts. All right, something else that we always talk about, also specified in your module, is the issue of page numbering. The issue of page numbering. For you to give your page numbers, this is what you must do. But we observe at times when we give you assignment, we say page numbering. Some of you type the page numbering yourself. Then you move to the next page. Okay, some of you will do that. Then move to the next page and type 2 again. It's a wrong procedure to number your page or your pages. Okay. See what Edo is going to do here to number my pages. I come to Insert, then I click on page number. If you want the page number to be on top, then you say top of page, the bottom of the page, page margin. So you select where the position, how you want it to be. Then the type of page numbering to be used. Like, for example, if I click on format, okay, let's go back again. If I type, most of the time we page our pages by 1, 2, 3. But at times you might not want to use 1, 2, 3. You want to use A, B, C, the Roman numerals 1, 2. So it depends on the type of format you want to use. But as I said, most time we use 1, 2, 3 numerals. Always follow instructions. So page, I prefer the page number to be down. Is it to the left, to the right, or to the center? I prefer center, okay, as you want it. There are quite a lot of options that can be selected by the user. But when an assignment is given to you, do it according to specification. So let me click on this. What do you see? The page is here. So you don't need to type the page. Now, for every page you go, I'm now on page 2. If I go to page 2, okay, if I get to page 2 now, at the bottom of my page 2, there, let's move down a little bit. Okay, the bottom of my page 2, sorry, you see 2 here. So the pages numbering will be automatically inserted in all the pages. You don't need to type it. And if you look at your status bar, you see I'm on page 2 of 2. Page 2 of 2 means I'm on page 2, and the entire pages for now they are 2. If I go back to 1, okay, if I go back to 1, all right, I'm now back to page 1. Let's go to the status bar. Okay, if I go to the status bar, you say page 1 of 2. So to insert your pages within your document. Can you see where I'm scrolling? The scroll bar, eh? The scroll bar. So if I draw you Microsoft Word window and ask you to name it, you should be able to tell me the scroll bar. You can scroll up and down here. So don't forget to name your pages, insert tab, all right, then page numbering. We're going to talk now about header and footer. Header and footer. Let's look at the Namibian newspaper, for example. If you look at the Namibian newspaper, every top of a page you will see the Namibian, the Namibian, the Namibian, the Namibian, the header. How do you create your header? You under insert, you click on header. I want the header to be at the center, left, right. Those are personal distinction. You click on it, then you type. So if, for example, I say the Namibian, okay, newspaper, the Namibian newspaper, all right, okay, I can insert the dates and the time by clicking on date and time. Choose any date and time format. Let's use Wednesday, October 21st. Select this one. Then I can click OK. If I want date and time to be part of my header, look at where you have update automatically. Update automatically. Update automatically is that if I select update automatically, the time will continue to change on its own within that document. The date will continue to change within that document. So if today is 21st of October, I don't need to go there and change it tomorrow to 22nd of October. No, it will change on its own. But if I don't select update automatically, it means I have to continually changing it on my own. So it is always advantageous you choose update automatically. So I can say OK. It is already inserted. That is my header. If I want the footer at the bottom, then that will be, I will select footer. So you have the header, you have the footer. Let us see how it looks like. This is, I'm on page 2 here. Okay. Let's go back to page 1. It is there. So for every page you go to, you see the header equally displayed. So I don't need to type the Namibian newspaper onto every page I go onto, because I've already inserted it there through the header function. So for every page it will be there. So if I give you an assignment and I say insert a particular heading so that it appears in all the pages, for example, the assignment we give to you, say insert your student number. You don't, on every page, you don't type it one. I will know, because it's not going to be the same thing. There will be some differences. So that is that about header and footer. Microsoft Word is wide in scope. As I said in my intro, in my preamble, Microsoft Word is wide. I'm going to limit, as I said, my discussion in this lesson as specified in your module. I'm going to talk about find and replace. Find and replace. Find is a command that is used to look for a word or a phrase, while replace is a command that is used to replace the word that was found. Let's take, for example, you prepare a document, and in that document you type Namibia. Namibia several times. Namibia appears several times. You see that word Namibia. Sorry. All right. You type that word Namibia, then suddenly you realize that it's not supposed to be Namibia. Oh, it's supposed to be South Africa. How are you going to replace this word Namibia to South Africa? You might say, oh, Mr. Edo, I can delete it and remove it. Fine, it will work. But what if you have over 1,000 words, Namibia, over 1,000 times. It's not going to be easy for you. So find will locate that word. Let's see how to do it. You click on find under home tab, click on find. Find what? Find Namibia. Let me do it again. Some of you might say, oh, Mr. Edo, you are too fast. Okay. First, I click on what? Find. Can you see? So I type that word that I want to replace. So I type Namibia. I want to replace it with what now? South Africa. So you click on replace. All right. Replace with South Africa. Then I can say replace all. Replace all means it's going to replace anywhere where there is Namibia to South Africa. But if I'm referring to only the first one, then I should use replace. But if I'm referring to anywhere there is Namibia within this document, it should be replaced all. Click on it. 5 replacements have been done. Click OK. Then you can close. Can you see? If you go back to this, it has been replaced from Namibia to South Africa, Namibia to South Africa. Very easy to use Microsoft Word. It's as easy as Kitty Kapana, as I always tell you in my contact classes. I'm sure you are finding it easy now. Let's move to the sixth lesson objectives. That is working with tables in Microsoft Word. How do you work with tables? You come to Insert tab. There you see the table command. Click on it. You can select how many columns you want. The columns are there. Select how many columns you want. The columns are always the vertical ones. Then the rows. How many rows? Can you see that now? Here I have selected 5. You can see 1 column, 2 column, 3. Can you see 4, 5 columns? Then how many rows? I have 7 rows now. Then you can click. It will be inserted. But some student complains at times that Mr. Edo, I do it at times I don't get it. You can do it this way. Insert table. Then you can click on insert table here. That is another option. Type in the number of columns you want and the number of rows. I want maybe 5 rows, 5 columns. Then you say OK. Still the same thing. Then type in what is expected. I can say from here, example, name. Okay. I can have date of birth. Alright, I can have city. Okay, I can have contact number. As whatever you need to create a table. If the width of the column is too small, you can adjust. Just click on it, just the same way we work on Microsoft Excel. Can you see where I'm clicking on it here? So I can adjust this the way I want it. Can you see? Okay. So you can adjust accordingly. The role you can adjust accordingly. The way it is, you can adjust it. So you can say, for example, I can say Prince Edo. Alright, now you know I'm a prince. Okay, Prince Edo. I can have Selma. Don't ask me, Mr. Edo, why do you always like using Selma as an example? We meet in contact class, I will tell you why. Okay, date of birth, you can type the date of birth. Alright. Don't worry, you're going to have fun with Microsoft Word. It's quite very nice and quite very easy. You know, especially as a teacher, there are quite a lot of things you can do with Microsoft Word as a teacher. It makes your work very easy when it comes to preparation of your lesson plan, so many work you can do with Microsoft Word. Okay, look at your table here. Let us now assume your supervisor or your head of department says no, Before you type in Binduk, I want something like a country, that is your nationality, to come before city. So what are you going to do? Are you going to erase? Are you going to delete all these you have typed? You might say, Mr. Edu, yeah, I can delete. Yeah, fine, because this is just 2. What if you have typed over 1,000 students? No, you don't need to. What you do, you're going to insert another column in between date of birth and city. So how do you go about it? Just watch and see. I select this. Can you see that column? Right click, insert. I'm going to insert column to the left or to the right. Since I want it come before city, the column where I have city, that should go to the left. So I'll click to the left. So it will be here. So here I can put country. So you don't need to. The same thing applies to the role. Just select. Can you see? Even clicking on the plus sign will always give you. Alright? Even clicking on the plus sign will always give you, or do it the way I did it the other time. Select, right click. This is role, either above or down. Can you see? Either above or down. Let me insert another one here. Alright, either above. I want it above. Alright. Let's assume I want to type a heading here, but I don't want this line to separate my headings. Remember what we talked about in Microsoft Excel? You mesh them. So select these, select that role, right click, then you say merge cells, merge cells, then it becomes one. So you can have one class, for example, class list. You can format it. Don't forget about the various ways of formatting. You can come to my home, can centralize it, can bold it, I can underline it, whatever I want to, the font size, okay, as you want it to be. In your assignment at times, we do say shade a particular cell. How do you shade? Let me select this place, for example, called name. I want to shade it. Highlight. Click on design tab. Can you see shading? Alright. Select the type of shading, color that you want for it. Alright. So you can shade a particular cell or a particular column. I can decide to shade, let's say, this row. After selecting, then come there, you can shade it as specified or as being instructed. To add a page border, the same procedure. You click on design tab, then move to page border. When you come to page border, select the type of page border of your choice, or even the X as you want. Alright, always have a preview. Then you say apply to the whole document, click on OK. Then you have a page border. I want to go back to that page border again and explain one or two things to you. I think I should move down to another section here. I mean page 1. Let's type dear student, hope you having a nice time. Okay, an instruction can come about like this in your assignment. Apply a paragraph border, not a page border, paragraph border. Select the paragraph. When you come to page border, then you select border, not page border now, borders. Apply to, can you see? Apply to paragraph. Alright, you must have selected the type of border you want. Apply to paragraph. Apply to paragraph. Then you say OK. It will apply only to that paragraph. So pay attention to issues like apply a paragraph border and a page border. They are quite two different things. I've been able to explain to you today, or in this lesson, some various things are stipulated in your modules, what the ribbons are. It's a kind of a summary I'm doing now. The tabs, that they contain different groups of commands that can be used. I've told you how to type in your document, how to edit your document, how to underline, how to bold, italics, case, either uppercase, lowercase, to work with tables, to insert page numbers, header and footer, checking spelling and grammatical errors. All these we have talked about in these lessons. The final thing is, how do you print? To print your document, click on File, then click on Print. Here you will see the document to be printed, a kind of a preview. To print, there are things to be set up, but basically there are three things that are very necessary. Number one, you must first of all select the printer name. Select the printer name. Number two, the page or the pages to be printed. If you are to print page 1 only, put 1 there. If you are to print page 1 to 10, 1 to 10. Can you see? You must not write it to as in words. No. 1 to 10. So it's going to print page 1, page 2, page 3 to 10. But if I'm going to print pages that are selected, for example, I'm going to print page 1, I'm going to print page 5, page 7, and page 10. So how do you do that? 1, 5, 7, 10. You separate them with comma, but you must not put a full stop at the end. So this will print page 1, page 5, page 7, page 10. The third thing that is very necessary when you want to print your document is the number of copies. How many copies? Is it 2 copies or 1 copy? Let me just put 2. What does this mean? It's going to print page 1, 2 copies. Page 5, 2 copies. Page 7, 2 copies. Page 10, 2 copies. So if I give you this screen, for example, in an examination and ask you how many pages of page 10 will be printed, you should know what to write for me. What is the name of the current printer selected, the default printer? You just look at the printer name here. There are other things to be set up, as I said, but these 3 things are very necessary. So if I ask you in an examination, outline the procedure of how to print a document, you must tell me, number 1, select the printer to be used in printing the document, select the pages to be printed, and the number of pages, the number of copies to be printed. Then finally click print or OK, depending on the Microsoft Word version you are using. I'm going to end the class today, here. Microsoft Word is practical driven. You cannot pass your examination on Microsoft Word unless you practice. Don't watch this video as if you are watching a movie. Go back to your computer, practice several times, often, several times, over and over and over and over and over, until you get used to it. It is not over until it is over. If you have any problem while working on Microsoft Word, don't hesitate to call my number 081 480 4091. I wish you all the best while you practice on Microsoft Word. Don't forget, it is not over until it is over. Thank you.